a nature nut, I'm not afraid to admit. I'm wild about the wild things and I'm proud of it. I'm just a simple case, open and shut. No doubt about it, I'm a nature nut. Today we'll go bird watching, tomorrow we'll catch toads. The next day we'll take photographs of bugs along the road. I never get the feeling that I'm in a rut. That's why I'm a nature nut. Well, I'm a nature nut, I'm not afraid to admit. I'm wild about the wild things and I'm proud of it. I'm just a simple case, open and shut. No doubt about it, I'm a nature nut.
Yes, did you have an appointment? Oh, wait a minute. I remember. How are you, Nature Nuts? Welcome. And guess what? We're going to have a good time today because I'm going to dedicate this entire episode to you. I'm going to dedicate it to answering various of your questions and messages and letters. The whole point of this show, as I'm sure you realize, I want to inspire you to get out and see the natural world around you for yourselves, so I'm always keen to hear about what you have seen, what's on your mind, how it's going for you. It's a lot of fun, isn't it? It's a good thing to do. I get a lot of mail these days, more all the time, regular mail. I get a tremendous amount of email now, too, and some of the most interesting things I get you can't send through email, like this. Look at this. Isn't this beautiful? Ben Lemfers made me this handmade nature nut sign. He's an 11-year-old guy, and I'm quite proud of that. I think it gives my office a certain touch of distinction, a bit of an executive look, don't you think?
I guess I should have checked this thing for hidden microphones. Hello, Ben! Turn on the TV! I'm showing them your sign! Well, I guess we should get to it. We got a heavy schedule today. Must have snowed since I got here. All right, let's see what we can find.
Okay, maybe I'm getting a little too excited about this show. Why don't you go ahead? I'll catch up to you in a minute.
To answer our first viewer question, I got some help from Shelley Ryan, a biology student who happens to be studying ladybugs as well. You see, Bruce Douglas wrote to me from Illinois and asked, what happens to ladybugs in the winter? Do they hibernate? It's cold outside, but we found some alive inside our house. Well, the truth is that ladybugs do hibernate, and if you know what you're doing, you can find them even in the dead of winter. Okay, well, this has got to be really scientific. I'm going to chuck this lid. Wherever it lands, that's where we're going to dig. Right here. Well, we got down to the reindeer lichen, and I'm just amazed at how it's still very nice and soft and spongy. Mm-hmm. But I'm afraid to dig down any further because I don't want to mess up the habitat here.
What's that under there, John?
What do you got? Oh my goodness.
Look at this.
It's not quite a ladybug, but it's part of a ladybug.
It is part of a 7-spot.
Well, how about that? The right wing cover. Now, I wonder if that little ladybug came here to hibernate last fall and just got eaten up by ants or something?
Well, it could have been eaten up by a predator. However, it could have also suffered from parasites or maybe bacteria, maybe fungi.
Oh, I guess ladybugs have their own diseases too, eh? Oh, wait a sec. Wait. Here's the whole thing. Look at that.
Holy smokes.
Look at that. You want to grab that? You're the ladybug specialist there. Well, go figure.
How exciting.
That's nice.
Coccinella septum punctata.
The 7-spotted ladybug. Isn't it? A little sleeping beauty of a ladybug. You figure that's a female?
I'd have to say that's a female. And she looks like she's in really good condition, too. I think she might just make it to the spring.
Oh, yeah. Flip her over. Let's see. Make sure she got all her legs. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're all tucked right into her body, too.
Yeah, beautiful. Just snoozing away. She probably thinks it's spring right now. But what do you think? We'll probably just tuck her back in.
Tuck her back in. This nice big 3-foot blanket here.
Cover up with snow, and she'll be fine till springtime. Well, how about that? That's not bad.
That's great.
That's a real needle in a haystack.
Yeah, no kidding.
But you know the thing I really want to see? I want to see your experimental ladybug overwintering setup that you have in your backyard.
Alrighty.
You've got temperature recorders here and everything, don't you?
Yeah, I have my data logger right here. And it's been logging the temperature for the last year that these ladybugs have been in, since October. And what we found was really interesting in December when it was -30. These little guys were basking in -9.
No kidding. So the snow gives them that much insulation.
Oh yeah, they're loving it down there this year.
Tremendous. Well, you've got it all cleared off here. Let's see
Let's
how
go for
they're
it.
doing in their little experimental homes.
I'm excited.
Okay, so what's in this box here, shall I?
Well, there should be some 7-spot ladybugs in here. Looks like
Oh, there's one right on the side there. Oh, there's a couple.
there's some.
And you know, they look in pretty good shape here.
They do. There's
Look at
no
that little
fungus.
Oh, and there's some movement.
Must be the bird.
There's some
sunshine.
movement. Bright sunshine, a nice warm hand. And she's going to wake up for us. Oh, yeah, she's waking up beautifully.
Look at that.
It's spring. Wow, very, very nice. Now, what will become of these ladybugs now that we've woken them up?
Well, I can reassure you, John, that they all have good homes, and we'll be able to give them lots of aphids, or maybe just a supplement of liver paste.
Liver paste, no
Yeah.
kidding. Ladybugs like liver paste.
Yeah,
Never would have guessed that, but... Well, aren't you a lucky little gal, ladybug?
The two-spotted ladybug often hibernates in the walls of houses and wakes up in midwinter by mistake.
Well, you know what that is? That's a snowy owl. Now, I can't tell you how many people have commented to me how much they enjoyed the part of our birdhouse episode where we went looking at the northern saw-whet owls and the barred owls that were nesting in bird houses, boxes that have been put there by people in the hopes of attracting exactly those sorts of birds. So I figured I owed you another species of owl, and here's a snowy owl, an absolutely magnificent bird, but one that you'll never ever find in a birdhouse because they nest right out on the flat, open tundra in the far north in the summertime, and then in the winter they fly down south, and you can find them over most of Canada and the northern states. It's a bird of open country. They're very, very heavy for an owl, though. The snowy and the great horned owl are the two biggest owls in North America. Very powerful, very impressive little rodent-eating birds, and, or I shouldn't say little, big rodent-eating birds, not road-eating birds. That would be even scarier. A snowy owl on a snowy day in a snowy part of the world. Now let me show you a lovely card I got from Teresa McIsaac and her daughter Shayla. They sent me pictures of mysterious unidentified pond creatures to identify, and they're very good pictures indeed. I'll start with this one, this little one that they call the orange frill guy. There's Shayla's drawing and Teresa's drawing, both perfectly recognizable, and I've got some in this tank here. These tanks may look empty to you, but if you look carefully down in there, these are what we call fairy shrimp. Absolutely graceful, beautiful little critters. Technically, they're anostracan crustaceans, and this particular sort of fairy shrimp is called a brine shrimp. They're also very popular among people who keep tropical fish because it's very easy to hatch the eggs. You can buy the eggs at the pet store, hatch the eggs out, and feed the larvae
to your tropical fish. Now I've got some newly hatched brine shrimp larvae in here, and oh man, are they tiny, tiny, tiny little things. But tropical fish love to eat them. But that brings us to another one of the mystery critters. This one here. The green part is the body. The two black parts that they were calling Mickey Mouse ears, those are really the egg sacs. And that's another sort of crustacean that looks a lot like the larva here. It's called a copepod. Copepods, they live, again, in ponds and lakes. They can get along a lot better with fish. And once you get to know what a copepod is like, you'll see copepods all over the place. I was at a interesting set of scientific meetings not long ago. They gave me this free sweatshirt, and look at that. There's a copepod for their logo. That stands for Prairie University's Biological Seminars, which also stands for pubs, but that's another story. While I was there, I had lots of people approach me with ideas for shows, and one grad student in particular, I got a kick out of her because she came up to me and said, "Hey, how about a show where the nature nut meets the Squirrel Girl?" I thought that sounded funny. Then it turned out that before she was a Squirrel Girl, she was a guppy gal and studied guppy behavior. And then we discovered that we were related. We have the same great-grandparents, and they were acorns. My real name is Acorn, by the way. Her name is Elizabeth Jenkins, and I've recreated the setting of her original guppy behavior experiments. I'm going to join her right now, and apparently one has to sneak into position so as not to disturb the delicate guppies.
The largest fairy shrimp are about 10 centimeters or 4 inches long, and they are predators on other small pond creatures.
Left, right, stop, right, stop. Oh wow, left, right, stop.
So Liz, is this reminding you of your guppy gal days?
Oh, it sure is, John.
Is this an accurate reproduction of your experimental setup?
This is fairly close, actually. Yeah.
Now what was the exact question you were asking about guppy behavior?
I was checking to see, do males display their best side when courting females?
So they have one side that's likely to be better than the other. Is that color pattern or what?
Yes. These Trinidadian guppies have bright orange and black spots on their body, and females choose males based on that. And I was looking to see if they preferred more symmetrical males.
Oh, is that a display right there? That male doing the little shimmy business?
That's him. That's what we call a sigmoid display.
Because it's S-shaped?
Because it's S-shaped. He kind of bends his body into an S and vibrates it in front of the female. Kind of dances in front of her.
So what was the answer? Do they know, or do they show their best sides?
Not really. We couldn't get any conclusive results.
Hey, don't you just love trees? You know, I think the jack pine is my all-time favorite tree. They have such a wonderful shape to them, and they attract such interesting wildlife. But I'm not the only person who loves trees. After we broadcast our home nature video show, I got a tape in the mail from Desiree and Meg Posine, and they sent me the most wonderful video. They made it themselves, and it has to do with the value of trees. Here it is. I hope you enjoy it.
Hi, John. My name is Desiree, and this is my sister Meg. We never miss your show, and when you did the episode on making a nature video, well, you're in luck, because me and my sister just happened to have one, because we made one for school so they could learn about nature too. P.S. I loved your frog episode. I hope you enjoy our movie. Bye. My topic is about saving our forests. Over 130 different species of trees live in our forests alone. That's a lot of trees. In Canada, we plant over 1 billion young trees or seedlings every year. Canada plants 2 trees for every 1 tree we cut down. Think about all the different ways we can use trees. To listen to music, play hockey. To enjoy our wildlife. Or unusual things that I sometimes use a tree for. A hitching post. Trees are cool. I can't imagine a world without them.
If domesticated fancy guppies were released in the wild, fish predators would quickly find them and eat them. You know, I got a wonderful tape in the mail a while back from a guy named Brian McMillan. He calls himself the Wildlife Paparazzi, and I'm going to show you a bit of that tape. Well, you know, a lot of people tell me that I have a quirky narrative style, but he's got a homegrown style all his own, and it complements his wildlife videography just perfectly. So get a load of Brian McMillan and his tape, The Wildlife Paparazzi.
Well, hello. I'm Brian McMillan. Welcome to my first video. It's called Wildlife Paparazzi. I hope you'll enjoy it here. So sit back, grab a cup of joe, get the family around, kick the dog out, do what you gotta do, get yourself comfortable. Here we go. Oh, these youngsters love to play. Man, look out. Here they go. Oh man, my music stinks. I should just let Mother Nature do the playing. That's better. Now, if you're wondering why I'm not telling you the name of each of these species, it's not because I don't know. It's because you should find out yourself. Get a book, learn, watch as you go. Well, there you have it, folks. That's the Wildlife Paparazzi video #1, hopefully to be succeeded by a few more in the near future. Thanks now. Let the dog back in. We'll see ya.
When I was just a lad, I painted pictures for my mom and dad. They hung 'em on the fridge, on the wall, down the hall. My pal George and I would draw the animals we saw in nature books and programs on TV. Pictures, pictures on the wall, so many I can't count 'em all. Slugs and bugs and frogs and bats, nature nuts with goofy hats. Salmon pink and azure blue, the critters and the bugs you drew are telling me to keep on making pictures on the wall. I tried to draw the other day, but the gift had slipped away. The pencil crayons felt so odd in my hand, like grains of sand. Oh, how I'd love to have it back, recapturing the knack so I could draw my favorite animals again. Pictures, pictures on the wall, so many I can't count 'em all. Slugs and bugs and frogs and bats, nature nuts with goofy hats. Salmon pink and azure blue, the critters and the bugs you drew are telling me to keep on making pictures on the wall. Now look at all the art you sent me, it's an inspiration, plenty drawings drawn for no more reason than the joy and for the fun. When my son grows old enough, I'll tell him drawing ain't kid stuff. Keep on drawing till your days are done. Pictures, pictures on the wall, so many I can't count 'em all. Slugs and bugs and frogs and bats, nature nuts with goofy hats. Salmon pink and azure blue, the critters and the bugs you drew are telling me to keep on making pictures on the wall.
It takes time and effort to make a nature video, even a home one. Okay, we've just got time to mention a few other letters that came in. Norm Provençal asked, what is this thing that looks like a 60s hairdryer? Well, Norm, it's a 60s hairdryer. It's been made into a lamp, and the reason we use it on the show is because we like it. It's a pretty thing. I want to tell you about a letter I got from Robert Bourke as well. He's a typical viewer of the show, and he says that the best part is the beautiful, clear, and exacting pictures. Very sharp and beautiful. Keep up the good work. Well, I agree, but I can't take any credit. The credit goes to Dwayne Dorland, our stalwart cameraman who does a fine job each and every time. The only other one I wanted to mention, a woman named Lynette. She told me her 3-year-old son loves to sing the theme song to this show, but he gets the words mixed up. He sings, "Go down the mountain, I'm a nature nut," instead of "No doubt about it, I'm a nature nut." But that's fine with me. Anyway, keep those letters coming. I enjoy them. I enjoy the pictures. I try to write back. And until next time, I'm a nature nut, and I hope you are too. Go down the mountain. Bye for now. Same time each and every week, uncensored and uncut. Go down the mountain, I'm a nature nut.